Before the episode begins, I just want to apologize. There was a problem with recording, so the episode will sound a little different than normal. You'll hear a lot more chaos than we usually would put out. We hopefully will have it fixed by the next episode. Once again, we want to apologize, and we hope you enjoy the episode. Hey guys, and welcome back to Cultured Boys, a show where two guys just want to have a chat. I'm Nathan, and as always, I'm joined by Pepe. And this week, we are talking about an anime called Dandelion.
Yes, yeah. Anyone that knows anything about Dandelion, you know. When I saw that it dropped on Netflix, I was like, "Oh, that's cool." Because as Nathan will probably get into in the breakdown, it was created by Hideaki Sorachi, who is the mangaka behind Gintama. And I know that Dandelion was like a one-shot way back in the day for him. And I was like, "Oh, okay, they've made this into a full series. I'd like to see how this goes." And here we are. Yes.
Just you wait for the breakdown. When you said way back in the day, oh boy. A lot of us are gonna take a lot of mental damage. Well, I'm doing alright, mate.
Yeah, you get. Oh god, hold on. Yeah, no, I remember this now. Actually, I just see.
I mean, it's in the notes that I sent you. Yeah,
Yeah.
Yep.
I saw that. Now.
Yep. But yeah, I'm doing good. How you doing, man?
Yeah, standard. You know, like if anyone's in the UK, you know that there's a heat wave right now. At time of recording, anyway, it probably died down by the time this episode gets released. But yeah, you know, coping.
If you're in the UK, thoughts out to you all because we're all suffering. And don't be too naive and think this is the only one. This is just the start, people. Just the start. Will probably be the first. Yeah, probably the first of many. As always.
Yeah. But enough about the UK heat. Enough about the UK heat. Let's jump to Nathan. Do you want to give a breakdown of what Dandelion is?
Yes. Dandelion, created by Hideaki Sorachi, most well known for Gintama. Published in Weekly Shonen Jump, September 30th, 2002. There's your mental damage. Animated by Naz, N-A-Z. Aired April 16th, 2026. 7 episodes as of recording. I don't know why I said that. There's only 7 episodes. At an afterlife agency where angels guide lingering souls, Tetsuo and Misaki take on any challenge to help the dead find peace in their own offbeat style. Thank you, Netflix.
Nice. So, like, Gintama, obviously one of the biggest manga anime comedies ever made, basically.
Yep.
You still find it getting memed to this day, people finding clips of it, uploading it to social media, even though it ended way back, like probably about 10 years ago at this point, I think, Gintama ended.
That's more
the manga
damage.
Anyway. Yeah, it's crazy. 2016, that's when I was like, fuck, jeez.
Okay.
Yeah, that ended 10 years ago. And the anime is like, the anime comes and goes every now and then. They're releasing another movie, an animated movie, which is a telling of one of the arcs.
Okay.
I think that's coming out soon. They've had live actions. They've done like spin-off stuff. Like there's loads of Gintama stuff that is still present to this day, even though the manga's over. I mean, you even had Ginpachi Sensei releasing.
Yes.
Was it earlier this year, last year? So
last year, I think.
Yeah, there's a lot going on with Gintama still, even though the manga ended. But here we are with Dandelion. And Nathan, I'd like to hear your impressions of this. Obviously, I know you tried Gintama in the past and haven't got into it as much as me, for example. And obviously, Ginpachi Sensei, we watched that earlier, didn't really hit with you either.
Yeah.
How about this one, though? Because I feel like it still has comedy value in it, but is a lot more scaled back compared to something like Gintama, I'd say.
I quite like this, to be fair. Like, I think you're right. I liked it because it was nowhere near Gintama. Like, yeah, it was, it still had the, some random bits, but it was nowhere near as just, pure randomness that Gintama has. Like, even, Ginpachi Sensei was like, I just don't get it. None of it was, none of it was really that funny to me because I was like, these are references I don't understand. I think what I liked about Dandelion is it was you can tell that it's the same mangaka, but it's it felt so far removed in some ways because it felt, sometimes it just felt more serious.
Yeah.
And then you still got those comedy elements in there.
Yeah. I'd say like that is what this series did really well. I think you're right. When you compare this to Gintama is full of references, full of jokes, and there's loads of like things that to a Western audience as well. Gintama, sometimes the comedy can go over your head a little bit, or it doesn't hit as well as it probably would in Japan. I mean, I love all the stuff that came through with it. It's like I was like growing up watching Gintama like in my teenage years and stuff, and I found it all quite funny. And I still find a lot of it like the jokes, like some jokes are really well done to this day. But Dandelion is a lot more supernatural. It's focused on a certain subject, whereas like Gintama obviously focused on samurai, aliens, that kind of thing. This is very much based in like an afterlife, like Soul Society, Yu Yu Hakusho-esque kind of thing, where there's an agency which is dedicated to like guiding souls to the afterlife. But it's like it doesn't go too in depth about this whole thing. You know bits and pieces about this afterlife, but you don't get overloaded with information about. And I know for a fact, being you, when it comes to supernatural series as well, especially anything that has a exorcism kind of vibe to it, we both kind of we kind of fuck with that a little bit. Anything that's like sending souls to the afterlife, we're there.
Funny enough, this is the one I find the most like brutal when it comes to that. And I'm like, we're talking like, I mean, in Bleach they had swords and stuff, but you know, like with an actual like human soul, they just put like a print, you know, like a stamp on your head. This, they've got an actual gun, by the way, like a full like. I can't remember what model that is, but like I'm like I know that I recognize that gun, and they just straight up just like headshot right through the forehead. You're like, I don't know why. I feel like that's massively brutal. Every other like exorcism ones are like, you know, I'm a powerful thing. I take you, or I do something very harmless and send you on your way. This one's just straight up like, no, we're gonna fucking shoot you, mate.
And when you look at the other squads as well, like obviously Tetsuo Tanba, the main character, he's got that gun basically, just a handgun which he uses. But then there's other squads that apart from the Dandelion squad, which end up using like what was it, like sniper rifles?
Yeah, they use all sorts of guns,
semi-automatics.
They use all sorts of shit, and you're just like, this is really brutal. Like you're a trapped spirit. And it's like, no wonder why you like avoiding these people. If fucking, they're gonna shoot you, bro.
It feels like the angels here are basically. It very much feels like they're implied that they're hunting these spirits rather than like guiding them to the afterlife. It is a lot of the time these spirits are running away, and the angels are the ones. Like even in the first episode, you see this minivan basically try to like run down this old woman who's a spirit that just like lost her body basically.
But also the crazy the crazy part is that like in these angels as well, quote unquote, because I'm like, you know, friggin' angels running around with fucking snipers and shit. But like these angels don't give a shit if you've just somehow astral projected, you know, like your spirit's left your body. They're just like, loose spirit, send them on. Don't
We've
fucking
got a job
care.
to do. Yeah, that's it. Yeah, it's our job.
Quota, innit?
It's a spirit about. Yeah, cool. It's the quota thing, innit? I feel like the quota gets like I think it's towards the end of the first episode. I think it might actually be the end of the first episode where this quota gets introduced to the angels and well, I think their squad is actually called a specific thing, isn't it? I think isn't it like the
send off,
because there's the
department.
It's like a send off. Yeah, something like that, isn't it? And then obviously there's like internal struggles within this agency, and obviously then there's like, oh, okay, like we're not doing enough. There's too many spirits about. We need you to up your quota. We need this to actually be like, okay, if you ain't hitting this quota, you get fired. That's the story arc of the whole first season. And like, how many episodes? I assume you've watched all 7 episodes.
Yeah, I watched all of it.
Yeah.
It was short enough. Like,
as
like if anyone who listened to the previous episode, this is in the same vein of like, there's that few episodes, whether I liked it or not, there's that few episodes, you might as well just watch the whole thing.
Get the whole story.
Well, I mean, like, you know what I mean? It's like, just watch the whole thing.
I didn't realize it was only going to be 7 episodes, to be fair. Like, I think
7's a weird number, by the way.
Gone into 7.
Yeah.
It's,
don't you think? Like, like, I feel like normally it's like there's like neater numbers, you know what I mean? Like, it's like, it's either going to be super short, so it's like 1 to 5, or beyond that it's like 10 plus.
Usually,
but like 7
the season
weird.
would go from like either 12 episodes usually or 24. or something along those lines. Like, I mean, then you got Steel Ball Run, which is at 1 right now. So there we go. There's another
So
thing
that's
there.
a different issue. We're not going to get into that because we'll take the whole episode.
Yeah, 7 is a really odd number. I think like right now we've unintentionally got into our short series anime right now. It's 2 back-to-back anime review episodes where we've watched shorter animes, which is obviously easier for us to get through those. But I enjoyed like the shortness of it. I think like it feeds into what we were talking about in the last episode, which is Let's Go Karaoke, where they fresh out these characters. So you got 3 main characters. You got Tetsuo, you got Misaki, and you've got Kyoga or Masaki, whatever. Yeah, we give it different names.
That's
but like
you
got 3 main characters.
It, like
yeah.
Misaki and Masaki.
Yeah, I was like kind of like I knew that like obviously Kyoga is like the family name, but like obviously Masaki Kyoga obviously will go for that full one. You got those 3 main characters, and obviously each character actually gets fleshed out a fair amount. Tetsuo, you get a rough idea of what Tetsuo's past is like a little bit, like obviously he used to be like on the way to becoming a captain in the Angel Squad, and then
but it has to be said you do have to watch a lot or most of it before you truly learn any of that.
Yeah, because he's just like introduced as the MC, and you get drip fed the backstory as and when. You don't get even like the full story realistically. You do get bits of it, but you don't get like.
You get the information, but like considering this was a one shot.
Yeah.
You get a lot more than you would anticipate in a one shot.
Yeah, because obviously, like with Misaki Kurogane and Masaki Kyoga, you get their full backstories really within that. And obviously, like with Masaki, you get like this is like his relationship with his mum and his dad, and like how he wanted to like invent and stuff like that. And then Misaki, you get that whole backstory of her mum. And like how like all that stuff went down. It's really engaging stories as well. I think they're like you get like about an episode or so dedicated to each of those, and that's all you really need. Like you got loads of other side characters here, and you do like get certain episodes dedicated to a spirit, for example, and like how they got in this position, and it's up to the Dandelion squad to solve like how to help them pass on. And what is great, I know you mentioned as well about like the way of sending over these spirits is by shooting them. But a lot of the time, it's like the way this story falls is like it's not okay they go over and shoots him in the back of the head or whatever. It is like, hey, we help you move on by finding what actually happened in your life, and how do we get you to move on by resolving your issues that you missed out on when you were alive, basically. Why are you here?
Yeah, and that's where the comedy comes in, because I mean, for example, one of them, I think it's episode 2, maybe episode 3, the boxer.
Kangaroo one was episode 2. Yeah, that was episode 2, yeah.
And it's like, dude was a boxer, shenanigans happens, he ends up being a kangaroo, and then Tetsuo was like, oh yeah, we'll solve this, because he never got his, like, big fight, and then they fight, and he's like, oh, thanks, bro, this was, like, the best fight of my life. Wasn't my problem, though.
The whole thing is like it's done really well with that, and this is where like some of the good like Gintama-esque comedy comes through, but not on the same like level. Like Gintama has its own other level of things, but like I think credit to Hideaki Sorachi, he like does like amazing comedy. He's a comedy writer and he does it well, and I think it comes through like, in this. Although the comedy is scaled back a bit, it still works really well in my opinion.
I think also, the whole thing was quite well written, to be honest, because for example, another episode, the Manzai episode, like got surprisingly dark and deep, and I was like, whoa, this is Gintama's mangaka? What the shit? I mean, like, it's not that it's not possible that they don't know how to do something serious, but I'm like, I just always associate like random goofiness.
This is the one thing about Gintama as well, is that when you this is the whole thing about Gintama. On surface level, there is a lot of those jokes and it is a lot of that comedy. And I'm also kind of not surprised that Dandelion did pull this off, because in Gintama you will have those more serious arcs where it is more battle focused. But like a lot of the backstories that you get from Gintama as well, those are like, yeah, sure, like there might be comedy on that surface level, but deep down there's these really hard-hitting stories about these characters that have gone through some stuff, and then you don't like, and like Gintama does those arcs really, really well. It takes a bit of time to get into them. Bear in mind, like for example, this is why I like One Piece. For example, there's so much to One Piece. There's comedy levels to it in some chapters.
Yeah.
But then you get hard hitting backstories. You get epic fights, and I'd say Gintama does the same. It's just more comedy focused in it, and this is why like Dandelion feels like you don't need to get past a lot of those comedy episodes to get into this meat and potatoes drama and like hard hitting backstories and stories that feel like, oh, these are, like you said, quite deep, quite meaningful. And I feel like this is why 7 episodes does this series really well, because it basically does what Gintama does, just squished down.
Yeah.
Squished way down into it. And yeah, I think like honestly, like Dave, when it comes down to Gintama as well, I know obviously you tried it and it's not the vibe or whatever, but when you get into those arcs of Gintama, like, and when you get some of those, like, there's a lot of those like serious arcs which are like fantastically written, and it goes to show in Dandelion that it still carries on like that.
Well, I mean, it's not that I wouldn't want to get into it. I mean, I did, you know, when we were first hanging out, I was reading the volumes of the manga you had, and I was like enjoying it to a certain point. It's just after that I didn't know where I left off chapter number 1, so I just never continued.
It's a really tough one. I think Gintama anime is a tough one to get into. I think even like I've tried to like, even though I know there's like a big lot of it which is like some of my favorite stories in manga. Start Gintama again is a little bit of a struggle, only because the animation is quite dated and there might be certain things like the story of the week thing can feel a bit like, okay, when's it getting into it, blah 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 blah. But I think it's like it's a trust the process kind of thing, similar to what there's loads of episodes of Gintama as well, which is also could be a barrier to entry for a lot of people. I mean, I think it's well over 300 episodes of Gintama, so like put it that way, it's like
yeah, I mean, okay, 300 is a lot, but like
it is.
Considering, you know, One Piece is
yeah.
I mean, I don't watch the anime. I read the manga, so like I'm not gonna pretend I have sat and watched all 1,000 plus episodes, but you know, like
Hunter x Hunter is like, what is it? That's like at least quite over 150, I think. That's like 160 or so, I think.
That took me a little while. Then again, I've watched. I mean, you know, it's for me personally nowadays. That's the number of episodes isn't quite a problem. I have sat and binge watched quite a few things that we haven't talked about like on the podcast. Like there are times me and Pepe are just like chatting, hanging out outside of recordings, and I'm like, oh yeah, I just casually spent the week watching XYZ, of which I have no reference of how really long or short a thing is sometimes. And Pepe's like, hey, what? Excuse me? You just watched all of that? I'm like, yeah.
Yeah,
I mean, Hunter x Hunter definitely was one of them.
That was the biggest surprise. Yeah,
I think I disappeared for like a week, came back, and was like, yeah, I just watched it.
Yeah, that was when like I think that was the biggest surprise, because you didn't mention it to me at all. And then suddenly it's like, yeah, I finished that. I was like, what? What do you mean you finished?
I think there's quite. I mean, I've slowed down in anime consumption right now, but for a while there was quite a few that I think there are still quite a few I haven't told you about, because I just don't remember. Once it's done, it kind of like leaves my brain. I'm like, okay, cool. Next thing.
I think like this is the one thing about like go back to Dandelion, I guess, with it, and it being a 7-episode anime, is that like I think that condensed story as well, because it is it's an arc. It is like an arc. It's like you get those like, oh yeah, here's the story of the week things where it's like he's dealing with the kangaroo guy, or it's like, oh, the Manzai thing, or like there's this scientist who wants to communicate with spirits in the afterlife. And there's loads of those bits and stories, but like you get like so much from it, and it doesn't feel like it gets boring at all. I think you watch it and you're like, this is actually like really engaging story.
I didn't I didn't feel bored at any point. And honestly, it's kind of a shame that it's a one shot, you know. I would have liked a little bit more
where the series finishes as well. I think it could leave it open to there being more story done for it. Whether Hideaki actually wants to do more of that, is completely up to him, because I don't think he's worked on anything since Gintama. Obviously, loads of stuff still coming out for it still. But like, I kind of like, I do hope that like this does well enough for people to be like, oh, I'd love to see more Dandelion.
I mean, it kind of makes sense though that if they haven't worked on something for a while, because like Gintama went for a long time, and it was like Toriyama, you know, like back when after Dragon Ball, like Toriyama was just like, I'm not. There's some stories I want to do, but I ain't doing manga no more. I'm done. You know what I mean? Like. I feel like so many of those mangakas from that time period where like you had the decades of
and
like writing and drawing. Like I also feel like if I did something that long and then I was like given a clean break, I'm like, I don't think I want to do that anymore. I think I'm going to do something else.
You would be like, well, okay, that was cool. I had at least a 10-year run of the manga. And Gintama went for like at least like, was it 15 years or something? So like you would be like, okay, cool. I've done that. I'm going to go travel. I'm going to go do something else for a bit.
I'm going to do absolutely anything else before I do that again.
Like I could do side projects. I could do like anything Gintama related. Sure, I'll do that. Dandelion is pretty much there already, kind of like, oh, it needs fleshing out. Sure, no problem. Here's that. Oh, Ginpochi Sensei needs stuff. Go on, I'll do that. It's those smaller project things.
Yeah, right. You just,
like,
you just don't want to get locked into another like decade-long thing.
Doing more. No, absolutely not. Like even if it's like just anime only stuff, it doesn't necessarily need to be a manga again. Like if Hideki just came up with the story and stuff, kind of like what Super was in the end. Dragon Ball Super, like it'd be so cool to get more of this series and even fleshing out those side characters we've seen present in Dandelion, because it's got an abundance of sidecasts, which like have their personalities but could be filled out even more. You know what I mean? You get little bits and pieces like, oh, there's a guy that's basically really into like luchadors and wrestling, or like, hey, there's this one guy that keeps on lending money out or stuff like that. Or, like you got the chief, you got like what's his face's brother, Kyoga's brother, the Kyoga family. Got, like loads of those you can flesh out.
He's got two older brothers, doesn't he? Like, the second one doesn't get introduced until like episode 5 or something, very briefly.
And even then, like those brothers are like there, but like you don't get loads of personality from them. You don't even know like what their powers are until like really the final episode, and even then you just see glimpses of it. So, like, you know for a fact this series could be fleshed out, but it all depends if Hideki wants to do more. But I wanted to mention another thing as well, is there's no opening to this. There's no opening.
Yeah, that was strange.
What there is a freaking sick ending.
Yeah.
The ending is so freaking good. And the animation that goes along with it as well. Have you watched it?
Yeah.
It's the little dances they're doing as well. It's like they're just standing in a circle, just grooving. And I'm like, this is a vibe. I love this. It's been a while since I've had an ending or like an opening which has hit this well with me. I'm like, this is a
wow, that's a statement. That is a statement to make.
I think there's great stuff. There's like I think Fire Force's opening endings, like they were good, but I never really engaged.
Well, I mean, like,
but this,
in terms of the animation, I don't really usually pay attention to a lot of the animations, but the statement of like, oh, it's a song that you haven't vibed with a song in a while. I'm like, bro, Fire Force had the song, bro.
I mean, no. Like the entirety of Fire Force. There's like, I think some of their openings and that have been my favorite of all time. Like
that's what I was like.
Mayday is one of my favorites.
But that's what I'm saying. Like that's why I was like, that's a statement, bro. Like like.
I mean, I kind of felt like when I was referencing more like the final season of Fire Force, I think. But no, going back to this freaking ending, man, I just love it. It's kind of like been on repeat for me a little bit.
No, that was a
sick little song, like keyboard synth kind of thing where it's like that kind of like has that weird 80s vibe a little bit. That you get into those kind of like that is the thing that I was like, this is the bar.
There's like a different sound in it, like it's something you're not quite used to in anime at the moment, at least.
Yeah, I think just I don't know, everything about that ending. I was like, okay, cool. If I get a chance, I want to like listen to that more.
Did you put it on the? Is it available? For...
Yeah, it's on the. I made sure it's.
I was gonna say, I'm like, that means it's on the playlist, surely.
Oh, absolutely, yeah. But no, that was incredible. Just another thing, they have Game Boys. They like got the link cables.
Again,
got, like,
this
Game
is
Boys that they play, and I'm like
2002. So it was when this was a one shot. So you got to remember, there's like that's the crossover point where stuff that we grew up with is still around. It might not be the newest of the new, but we haven't quite fully transitioned over to all this like crazy tech yet that we have in the modern day. But we're getting there. It's the start of it. Like we're getting there. It just hasn't quite happened yet. But it is, at least for me, And for like, you know, people like us who grew up in that time period, like seeing things like that is nostalgic. And like for younger viewers, times were different. Okay, we were simpler times back then. We had a brick with some batteries and a cable. Like you had to physically sit there with the brick and your friend and a cable, and if you didn't have the cable, well, you just sat there with your bricks and you imagined you were playing together.
Yeah, you ain't getting those extra Pokeball. Let's put it
well,
that
you
way.
are like
you got red,
legit,
you got blue,
exactly. Like I, for example, I did not have a link cable for the longest when I was a kid. So if my friend did have their Game Boy or I was hanging out at someone's house, we literally just sat and played Game Boy in the same room, talking to each other and imagining you're playing together rather than like actually playing together.
Yeah. Oh man, but it's just like it's just like seeing that. I was like, oh, that's quite cool.
It's also crazy that it was still the brick. You know, like the OG.
Yes, it is that's like, the OG Game Boy. Because
again, it's 2002, so by then you would have had all the variations of the OG Game Boy.
You would have had,
You would have had like the pocket, the light, the color.
Yeah, you wouldn't have had it. You wouldn't have advanced then.
No, I don't think GBA had come out just yet. I think that was a couple years away.
But
I think it was a couple years, or maybe a year away. But like, But like, it's just the fact that it was the brick, like the OG Game Boy was nuts.
Yeah. Oh man. I mean, that's like it just contributes more and more to like what I feel this series. It's I mean, it's a small thing. It's a fucking Game Boy, but still, you just see it. You're like, oh, okay. There's like also like quite a few Gintama references in this as well. Like really randomly, like one of like the Gintama villains appears in the background of the Manzai episode. Like you know where there's like there's like a bunch of certain bits where like they're looking at different Manzai duos and like they're all doing their stand up and stuff like that. And one of the major Gintama villains just appears up in the back and slashes something.
Oh wow!
I'm like, that's actually like one of the Gintama. And then they got like one of the bombs in Gintama, which has like it's like a kind of cylinder kind of thing with eyes and a face on it. That makes an appearance at one point. So like certain like cutaway. They don't obviously reference it loads or whatever. They just say, "What the hell is that?" Or it's like, "Hey," as a viewer, you're like, "Hey, that's the guy." Like,
I feel like if this carried on to be like a full series, you would get way more of that, especially as time goes on. You know, like
the fact it'd be in the same universe, I guess. But like also, I don't think it needs to be. I mean, no, it couldn't be in the same universe, really.
Pepe, please.
The way Gintama's, I mean,
do you not remember the first episode of Ginpachi Sensei? It doesn't matter if it's the same universe or not. They'll connect it whether you fucking want it or not.
I forgot about the first sketch in Ginpachi Sensei.
They'll connect it whether you want to or not, bro.
Because a stupid editor wanted to make some money.
I'm passing the torch to you.
There's like live action.
Yeah. So if it became an actual like full series, they'll connect it however they bloody well please, mate.
It's just true. It's true. Yeah, it does that. I guess like but I think it is I just want more episodes. That's the one thing. I don't know if we'd ever will get more episodes. Hopefully there is one thing.
We probably won't. It'd be nice, but we probably won't. I mean, it's hella reminiscent of Gintama in a way anyway. Like you got three main characters, the cool guy, the girl that's kind of almost like kid-like. Well, I mean, this one, she is specifically a kid, but like, you know. And then you got the glasses guy who's more serious.
The glass,
like,
that's it,
you know what I mean? Like, you got the trio right there, like...
It follows that,
It takes... If it continued, it takes one weird situation... Well, all of a sudden, Tetsuo looks like Ginpachi. You know, like they all just end up being the other characters, and you're just like, I get it.
Definitely could have. I think that's one thing. If you flesh out this more, how do you actually reflect those characters? It's developing those characters even more.
But also,
it can be done.
It could easily be in the same world because they're in like the hidden version, like the spirit version of the world, right? So like at any point where they could accidentally go into the human world and like the Gintama crew could just like suddenly shoot past in the background or something, and you're like, oh
yeah, it's like that kind of like, you know, because it being an afterlife thing as well. You know, for a fact, they could just be, hey, this spirit turned up out here out of nowhere, and then it's like it's a Gintama character. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like it's easily done. And they've already done it. They've already included a Gintama character in there in the background.
Yeah,
what's to say they don't do?
You know, they could do it so many times. Theoretically, it could be a story that runs parallel to Gintama. So every time something major happens in Gintama, there could be more spirits appear in Dandelion and whatever the fuck.
So
Do you know what I mean? Like you could do that, but whatever.
Well, yeah, we'll see what we get first, and then
I'm telling you, we probably won't get anything. It's been a long ass time, brother. Been a long ass time. You know how many manga series, like long running series, could have happened in this time between its publication and the airing of the anime? Like,
yeah,
I'm gonna say the number out loud just to hurt us all. 24 years, brother. There's a lot of things that could have.
When you put it like that, it sounds.
There's a lot of things could have happened.
Feels like,
yeah.
Oh, that's like, what is it? 12 years? It's not too bad. And he's like, no.
12 years, I wish. Like,
I'm blissfully ignorant inside.
Yeah,
like
no, like,
deep thinking.
There's plenty of series that could have come and gone in that time. Plenty of development time as well for this. You know what I mean? Like, I mean, never say never, but chances are low, I'd imagine.
Yeah, no. But is there anything else you want to say about this, Nathan? Anything that jumps out to mind with it?
I would have liked to have seen more of Tetsuo's backstory.
Yes,
like
I think that's thing that
we got like
lacking a bit. Yeah,
we got what we got, and it was satisfactory for the amount of time we had left. But the fact that you're like, oh, our main character is like a slacker most of the time, and then to drop it on us that like, actually he was one of the best, if not the best. You know, he was the elite of the elite. He could have run the whole show, and you're like, well, can I see more of that? Because I just kind of want to see more of that.
I agree. That's what feels like it's missing quite a bit, and that's the only piece I feel is missing from that trio. Like, don't get me wrong, you get enough of this, like you said, you get enough of the story. Like the story, like it doesn't feel like you're missing out much from that. But as like a nicety, you would have liked to see his origins. Like, where has he come from? You see the origins of Misaki,
or like just to see him kick in to be like more serious, because like you see the other two do stuff, you know, like Misaki, she super strength, right? But you see her do amazing feats of strength throughout the whole series. Kyoga, he does like tech and robots. You see him do that all the time. But like Tetsuo, you're like, okay, but you're supposed to be this like amazing guy. And when we saw some of your backstory, we saw him like dual wielding pistols, and he was just like, but you know, when you're like, get serious, bro. Like I kind of just want to see it. I just want to see it. You know, like,
I think that's like, it's doable as well, because like in Gintoki's like backstory is a freaking tragic one as well. Like, even though you've got this really happy-go-lucky character, you've got a really heartfelt, tragic backstory for Gintoki, and you're like, you can do the exact same thing for Tetsuo and still keep that comedy, like that fun guy there as well. Like, it doesn't have to like immediately be a switch up. You know that he can get serious as well. You know, in those final 2 episodes he did, and like it's
but you know, it's like it's serious, quote unquote. It's not like it's like he's holding back. Like it's the manga anime thing. Like the main character is like, it was as serious as they needed to get for like that moment in time. But you know, when you're like, but I mean, like you could be way cooler, and then you're hiding something. I know it. I've watched enough anime to know when like a main character is like way more accomplished than that.
Yeah, I think that you got the prestige of this character, and like he was like one of the best in the Angel division, like back then. You know, there's room for that.
He can do way more, and you know it. It's like when Goku goes to fight someone, right? And then he's like, "Oh yeah, I'm gonna go all out from the start," and then he goes Super Saiyan, and you're like, "You're a fucking liar. You are a fucking liar, sir."
It's not just that he goes Super Saiyan, then he goes Super Saiyan.
Well, I mean, like, or he doesn't even go Super Saiyan, and he's like, I'm going all out from the start, and you're like, you are a bloody liar. How dare you?
I think there's like room for, as well, because like both Misaki and Masaki, you've got those two emotional backstories as well, and Tetsuo could be accomplished, but also that you want to know what his inspirations are here as well. I know obviously he wants to get paid, he wants to do this kind of thing. Like that, if there was like characters from his past who he no longer is in touch with, whether it might be tragic or whether it just be separation or whatever, like there's room for that. There's lots of room for it. So it'd just be nice to see, and this is what I think we should get more episodes.
I agree, because it's also like, I mean, what was a bunch of the characters doing before they died? Because with the captain being a human first and then a spirit, and then they let her become an angel, you're like, okay, they say it's not supposed to happen, but it happens. So like, how many other people, you know what I mean? Like there's just kind of like random questions that I'm like, I just want to know, and
I want more information.
Yeah, like I'm
sure how this world works is the question.
Exactly, and I'm sure there's people out there who don't give a shit, and that's fine. But like, I want to know.
Like for 7 episodes, it answers the bare minimum for what you need for the story.
Yeah, like, it wraps it up well enough.
Yeah.
To be like, okay, cool, we did it. It's done.
For 7
but
episodes,
if you want
what you need. Yeah, it's what you get what you need for your 7 episodes, and like it gives you enough. But it's like there's more room. There's more room.
Yeah. I mean, I suppose that's marketing, and it always leaves them wanting more.
Yep, that's so true. Indeed, it is. Yeah, no, that's. I don't think there's anything else I've.
No, I don't think there's anything else either. To be fair,
yeah, I think it is just one of those ones where, like, if you're a fan of Gintama, you'll love it. I think that's one thing. I think I really enjoyed it. I think even if you're not a fan of Gintama, I think this is a series that is really easy to get into, and you can.
I would recommend it to just kind of anyone in general. I think it stands by itself well enough. I think if you know Gintama, it's like a bonus. Like to definitely go. But like, I think you could quite easily recommend this to most people. It's not super wacky, so they're not going to get turned off by like, anime.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, no, it's kind of like there's nothing like really offensive in it. I feel there's nothing that like anyone can watch this and get a decent watch out of it. I don't think there's anything which feels like, this thing.
Yeah, I don't think there's anything
like,
too negative anime quote unquote about it. The things that people normally would use as a reason to not watch a thing. I don't think there's really any of that.
Yeah, it's proper harmless watching. Like, there's no, if you find any problems with this, and it's like, okay, it's just not for you.
Yeah.
I think it's like, there isn't like a trope thing where it's like, oh, they do this. It's like, oh, they've done this again. It's like, no, it's all like condensed down really well in the thing that like, it's just pleasant. It's a pleasant watch.
Plus, they're only like half-hour episodes, so.
Yeah, apart from the last one, which is 40 minutes, that one. That's a longer episode, that one.
That makes sense, though.
Yeah, there's a lot that gets covered in it, yeah. Because I remember like watching it, like, and I had to go somewhere, and I was like, oh crap, okay, this actually is running a bit longer than I thought it was. So I had to stop in the middle of that one, and then I'll start again. But yeah, like you said, you could probably blast through this in like an afternoon, probably, if not like 2 days.
I'd blast it through it in like an evening.
Yeah, easy watch, just enjoyable, great characters, and yeah,
good story, really and then jam out to the ending song, and
just jam out to just do that.
And then I don't know, glad you enjoyed, I suppose.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, and obviously, like, it's on Netflix as well, so really easy to access. And then all of like Gintama episodes being uploaded there as well, sub and dub. So if you like want more of it, I guess, hey, go watch Gintama. You know what I mean? There's
I suppose
there's an answer.
That one's a little more of a hard sell, I think, just because wacky, goofy nonsense. But that's just me.
It's great for that. I know Gintoki's voice actor is just like that. I think that's the thing that really sells it. This day.
Okay, I didn't have a final point until you said voice actors, but so I watched dub for this. Another voice actor I got to add to our growing list of voice actors that seem to be in everything. Kaiji Tang is Tetsuo.
Yes, yeah.
And Kaiji Tang seems to be in a lot of the animes we've watched as random voices here and there. Also, the voice of Ichiban in Yakuza. That's why people would recognize if you know. But like,
Satoru Gojo.
Yeah, he's Gojo. Like, Kaiji Tang is in a lot of stuff too. Like,
yeah, he's one of those voice actors which feels like a modern voice actor. Oh, you're in like loads. Any hit new series, you're present. That's,
right? It's like it's just, now I feel like that's what I'm just gonna keep listening out for now. You know, like what was it? Chris Sabat, Ian Sinclair, Kaiji Tang.
Dream blunt rotation.
I mean, there's more voice actors I could add to that list. To be honest,
100%. Yeah.
I mean, for the longest, it was like only voice actor I recognized and knew the name of for a long time was Yuri Lowenthal.
Mercer or something. Oh yeah, Yuri Lowenthal. I think Matt Mercer's up there.
Matt Mercer.
I feel Matt Mercer's a harder one to identify though. I think you could possibly like get there, but I feel like
I've definitely mistaken him for other people before.
Another one I'm thinking of, I can't remember. The guy that voices Android 17, I think his one is quite. Can't remember who it is, but he's got a very distinctive voice. I think that's what, because he voices Hiei in Yu Yu Hakusho. He voices Saiki's dad in Saiki Kuso. He voices Shin-chan's dad. He's one of those voice actors where, like, when you know, and he doesn't really change much either.
What?
So it's all. So when I hear
that is whiplash right there. Android 17, Hiei, Shin-chan's dad, Saiki's dad. You know, what the fuck?
It's either like, so you're either playing like edgy characters in these like shonen anime, or you're playing comedy dads.
The goofiest dad there is. Like, wow. The man has range.
But enough about voice actors. I think we'll end the episode here.
Yeah.
Let us know how you have experienced Dandelion. I mean, it's a recommendation from both of us. If you watched it, let us know in the comments below. And thank you for listening. Remember to like, comment, subscribe, hit that bell button for future Cultured Boys videos. Check the links in our description. We have our podcast platforms there. And we'll see you guys next time for another Cultured Boys episode. Bye-bye.
Bye.